Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to 9 p.m. English News Edition at the Helens. The head of state took part in the first Saudi Arabia African Summit in Riyadh. Half of the national scene hospitals and schools targeted by Israeli strikes. Those were the headlines and welcome to the national news. The extraordinary summit of the Cooperation Organization Islamic and OIC and the Arab League was held in this afternoon in Riyadh to Kingdom of Saudi Arabia on developing war in Gaza and the occupied West Bank. In light of the unprecedented escalation of aggression by the force of the Zionist occupation against the Palestinian people are subjected to genocide, killings and displacement. Several heads of states and government of Arab and Islamic countries met in Dublin. The President of the Republic, Excellency Muhammad Gele, who held an important speech in which he firmly condemned the aggression and massacre perpetrated by Israel in the Gaza Strip. The President of the Republic called for joint action Arab and Islamic countries to act urgently came to end of our Palestinian brothers. Noted that the recent Israeli bombing in Palestine, which began more than a month in Gaza Strip, killed 10,000 people, and the majority of whom are and women and children, according to the agency of press. This bombing were characterized by an alarming escalation, hundreds and of airstrike that hit civilian target residential building, sexually infrastructure and medical facility, which resulted in a large number of casualties. So, the President of the Republic called for joint action in Arab and Islamic countries to act urgently and came to an end of our Palestinian brothers. For more report with Muhammad Aden.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم القائل من لم يهتم بأمر المسلمين فليس منهم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.
First of all, I would like to express my thanks and gratitude to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for its invitations to organize this summit during this difficult time when the Palestinian people are being subjected to ethnic cleansing and genocide, which constitute a crime full-fledged war. In this regard, we reiterate our call for the immediate cessation of the brutal aggression of the Israeli occupying forces against the defenseless Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip, the immediate lifting of the blockade imposed on the Strip, as well as the protection of civilians and the provisions of emergency humanitarian assistance. We also reaffirm our categorical rejections of the mass murder, barbaric bombings, deliberate destructions of infrastructure, threat of forced displacement, and starvations faced by civilians and innocent people in Gaza, in violations of all international norms and laws, the most fundamental humanitarian principles and values. The Gaza Strip faces a new scourge of Nakba, and its 2.5 million residents have become hostages of the Zionist occupation, where they are forced to be displaced due to criminal and brutal bombings and deprived of their most basic rights and basic needs such as water, food, medicines, communications, and fuel. The seriousness of the current situation requires a rapid response, a strong commitment from all and every effort to put an end to the flagrant violations suffered by the population of Gaza.
And let's listen the second part of the President's speech with Muhammad Aden.
الدول العربية وإسلامية مسؤولية تاريخية جسيمة.
As Arab and Islamic countries, we have a huge historical responsibility, and we must shoulder this responsibility and work to help our people and our brothers in Gaza in every possible way. The world order has repeatedly failed to implement the values of freedom, equality, justice, and humanity it advocates, and Palestine is the best witness to this. The humanitarian catastrophe in the Gaza Strip once again puts the international community to the final test of its credibility by assuming its responsibility to force Israel to end its barbaric and destructive war and adhere to the rules of international humanitarian law and international legitimacy resolution. In this review, it is necessary that we as Islamic countries demonstrate our firm commitment to upholding the just causes of the nation. Therefore, it is imperative that we act urgently and take a firm and unified stance to end the wanton aggressions and fulfill our responsibility to protect civilians in Gaza and defend their rights to life and provide help and assistance. We must also unite with all free peoples of the world to save these oppressed people, confront attempt to liquidate and bury the Palestinian questions, and work to revive the political process on the basis of the two-state solutions in order to arrive at a fair solution. It is time for everyone to be convinced that no lasting political stability will be achieved in the regions until Palestinians can achieve their legitimate rights to self-determination and life in an independent state on their land in peace, security, dignity, like the rest of the people of the world. In conclusion, I wish our summit success.
So the President of the Republic, Excellency Muammar Gele, had this morning talked with his Sultan and his counterpart, Mr. Salva Kiir. This bilateral meeting took place on the sidelines of the work of the African Summit Saudi Arabia, which is held in Riyadh in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Discussion between the Jewish and South Sudanese presidents focus on relation of friendship and cooperation between the two countries and the two people, as well as ways and means to promote and further develop these already privileged links. The President of the Republic, Excellency Muammar Gele, and his South Sudanese counterpart discussed the desire of the two countries to work in favor of the definitive launch of a strategic series of partnership, economy, and development between the two countries. So this summit, which has a value as a spare and alternative to put a parts for increased solid cooperation and valid market in niche in the global context marked by repeated crises. This interview took place in the presence of delegation accompanying the two presidents as part of the African Saudi Arabia Summit. The first Egyptian Earth and observation satellite soon in orbit, the launch of the very first nano satellite entirely designed by Egyptian engineers is scheduled for tomorrow evening from 9 and 9 p.m. called Djibouti 1A 12P transported Apollo SpaceX Falcon and 9 launcher from Vandenberg Space Base, California. The Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Mustafa Mohamed Mahmoudi, and continues his mission in Paris as part of the 42 sections of the UNESCO General Conference. The Minister and the Ambassador participating in a high-level segment entitled Rethinking the Common Goods, Acting Together to Protect them, which focus on the way in which the common goods must be true about protected in the context major disruption that the world is currently experiencing, with a particular emphasis on climate change and digital transformation. The other member of the delegation, for their part, participated in the meeting, debate, and thematic panel relating in particular to peace through the revision of the 1974 UNESCO recommendation for education for peace and right, human being, the social role of education for sustainable development, and the preparation of each and learner for climate change, the means of achieving universal education, the technical challenges posed by new technologies, as well as the challenge of ethic neurotechnology. On the sideline of the 42 section of the General Assembly Conference of the UNESCO, the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training held a bilateral meeting whose objective consisted, among other things, of exchange experience, establishing new partnership, forging collaboration, and explore joint initiative. Thus, the Minister spoke in terms with his counterparts from Azerbaijan, Ecuador, and Cuba. Discussion with the his Azerbaijan counterpart focused on ways and means of establishing cooperation in the area of professional training, particularly in favor of students living in the TVA, so that they can benefit from a scholarship for the continuation of the training courses. The writing examination of the competition began earlier on Saturday, November 11, 2023, at various examination centers. This year, the competition attracted 4,157 candidates competing for the 10% of the teaching position open for recruitment. The position covered 20 disciplines ranging from general education to technical education and vocational training, as well as preschool and bilingual and technological education. The competition takes place in two phases, with a writing test first and followed by the oral test. It is organized by the Minister of Labor in charge of formalization, social protection, collaboration with MENFOP. The Secretary General of the Minister of Labor in charge of formalization, social protection, Mr. Abdullah Mohammed Digni, accompanied by the Secretary General of MENFOP, Mohammed Abdullah Mahyub, and the Acting Director General of the Civil Service, Mr. Hibo Yusuf, as well as other senior executive care officers, supervision tool at the CFFA and the C of the high school. This information illustrated the importance placed on education and recruitment and to interest, as well as the efforts made to ensure transparency and fairness in the selection process. So, the Secretary General of the MNTFP, Mr. Abdullah Mohammed Dig said that he was satisfied with a smooth and writing of the writing test. He praised the remarkable quality of the preparation and the system deployed by MONFOP to guarantee the serenity and smooth running of the competition. They placed the 27 tone served yesterday afternoon as they started and finished a point of the Air Djibouti and 10-kilometer and 5-kilometer road race. On the menu for the fourth edition of the Air Djibouti 10-kilometer race this year is dedicated to the solidarity of the Palestinian civilian population, organized by the airline Air Djibouti and with a close collaboration of the State Secretary for Sport and Egyptian Athletic Federation. This event is intended to serve on the one hand as an advertising showcase for the airline Djibouti, and on the other hand, crucible for the emergence of new generation of athletes capable of defending the color of the national flag during international competition. So this year's edition saw the participation of a few hundred athletes made up of young men and girls from several sport teams of the Egyptian Armed Forces, the Republican Guard, the Coast Guard, the University of Djibouti, of the Gendarmerie and National Police, but also from neighboring countries separated into this category, category junior and senior, who took this start event by in order to compete in the 5-kilometer and 10-kilometer course.
magacaygu yahay Maxuudin Cabdi Wacays oo ka tirsan
So the Director General of Air Djibouti, Abdurrahman Ali Abdullahi, paid a vibrant tribute to the Palestinian people who lost their lives in the Gaza Strip due to raids carried out by the Israel. The Director of Air Djibouti expressed that this victory of this raid is a part of the policy of the President, who offered differential ways and means to flourish in sport and special analysis by the two athletes. The race of the first eligible edition ended in better condition at the place the 27 June. The director also insisted on the importance of national solidarity to provide the necessary assistance to our Palestinian brothers. And also the president of the FDA, Saeed Ismail Hassan, welcomed the commitment of the country's airline in promoting this sporting discipline. So, dear to our country, the president of the Athlete Federation, Saeed Ismail Hassan, who clarified that the head of Air Djibouti, who through this annual sporting event promoted a national athletic to serve and advertising from work for this campaign. He thanked the winners of the 5 kilometer and 10 kilometer race, and also thanked the general director of Air Djibouti, the Olympic Committee, and the secretary in charge of sport who took part in the 4th edition race event. As part of the fight against gat smuggling, the Al Sabihi Customers Brigade and the Mopel and Customer Brigade, in close collaboration with the National Police Detachment of the region, intercepted a large quantity of smuggled gat. The merchandise seized on this occasion consisted of 18 gat collies, whose total weight was estimated at 3,500 kilograms of gat. The smugglers wanted to transporting a quantity to the city of Djibouti according to the standard procedure in force. This quantity was destroyed on site by the Customer Brigade in the presence of the head of the Ali Sabihi Customer Brigade, Mohammed Mumin Hassan. Let us remember that the smuggling is a scourge that harm the economic development of our nation. It is therefore up to each citizen to lead the fight to put end to this illicit trade. And for the international scene, Israel airstrike hit 3 hospitals and a school in Gaza this Friday, killing at least 22 people. Gaza's largest hospital, Al-Shifa, where up to 15,000 people are sheltering, has been pumped, and many medical facilities are out of service. The establishment serves around 50 bodies after the pumping of a school, welcoming the displaced people, as well as more than 11,000 data have been reported over the past month. Israel strike in Syria at dawn on Friday in response to drone that fell on Tuesday on a school in Eilat, an Israeli city in the south of the country, without causing any casualty. The United Nations calls for investigation into Israel's indiscriminate pumping of a densely populated area. That's it for this edition. Thanks for attention. Have a wonderful evening.